Hi everyone, it's Julie Boya here of Wake Up with Gratitude and with the fourth video in my series, which is using online tools. So I'm actually recording this using one of my favorite online tools, which is Zoom, because I wanted to be able to at least show you the websites that I'm talking about where I find the tools that I use. So I'm gonna go into my browser and I might as well start with Zoom. So the website for Zoom is zoom.us. There is a free version of Zoom, so you don't have to pay for it. So I pay for Zoom. It allows me to have unlimited meeting lengths. I've done up to 3-hour Zoom webinars. I have 100 people limit in my room, and I have room to store things on the cloud. So if I'm recording a Zoom meeting and I'm not at my own computer, that's really helpful. And why I love Zoom, I mean, I would say Zoom right now is doing super well in terms of companies that are, dealing with the pandemic. They're doing really well because everyone's using Zoom. I love Zoom because you can have everyone on video or not. It's easy to share your screen as I'm doing here. It's fairly intuitive to use as well. And what I do is, you may or may not know that I do this. I do a video series. It was started as the 30 Days of Self-Love video series. But when you record a meeting in Zoom, it also gives you the audio track separately. And that's super critical when we're going to be talking about creating content in tomorrow's video. So Zoom meeting for recording interviews that are videos and then getting the audio track separately really makes it easy to share something that you've recorded. And I love that. So Zoom is probably the number one right now. I also so we know about FaceTime. We know about, Facebook. I've actually been using Facebook Messenger video, FaceTime. I have an Android phone, so there's no FaceTime on my phone. So I use an app called Google Duo. Great when you want to connect with a family member that's not on Facebook, for example. So Google Duo has been helpful, Facebook Video, Messenger, FaceTime. I have to say that I haven't used Skype in a really long time. I used Skype for years. It was my go-to. I actually started using Skype in 2004 when I lived overseas. It was pretty phenomenal technology, but I replaced Skype with Zoom in like 2013. I've been using Zoom for a really long time. And I love it when people are like, I've never heard of Zoom. I'm like, this is so great. You're learning, you're going to be so excited about it. Okay, so Zoom for video conferencing. I feel like it's a pretty obvious one. Okay, let's talk about creating graphics. So I use Canva. So canva.com. It's also an app for your phone. I use it both on my computer and on my phone. What's great is you can create your own designs. So I have different designs. This one you'll notice, for example, this is my podcast design. So I used, the square that they have. They have so many options. You can basically find a template for pretty much anything you're doing on social today. I use the free version of Canva. There is a paid version, and there are a lot of benefits. If you're doing a lot of graphics and branding, not just for yourself, but for other clients as well, you'll want the paid version of Canva. And I actually don't use their images anymore because I want to use my own images as a photographer. But before I became a photographer, really, I would use the Canva photos. So I would pay for, a number of photos, and then you download them and use them as you need. So that's a great thing about Canva. They have tons of free stuff as well. I mean, I use the free version. It works really, really well. I have to say that, it's actually a phenomenal product on the free version. It's absolutely amazing. And the great thing is this is on my phone as well. So I can create this on my desktop, but then I can also edit it on my phone at any time. So that is really, really helpful. I spend the majority of my time doing business on my phone. So anything that works in both places is really great. So Zoom works on your phone just as well as your computer, same with Canva. Let's talk a little bit about something else that I use for photo. I use this for photo editing. So this might not apply to everybody, but I use this. They have templates. You can do all kinds of things with this, but I specifically use PicMonkey for photo editing. So as someone who takes a lot of photos, PicMonkey I use mostly on my phone. What I like about PicMonkey is I use just 2 of their features. I do pay for PicMonkey. I use 2 of their features. One is a color amp, so that allows me to have better color, especially on sunrises, because the challenge with sunrise is you're technically pretty far away. So it's hard. Your eye sees a brighter color than the camera can capture. My new phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, definitely does a better job than my S8 that I had before. However, I'll see a really, really bright red and the camera just doesn't capture it. So I can, bring that red out. And then the other thing I honestly just use is adjusting shadows. I actually don't even know if I would need to pay for PicMonkey for those 2 things. So I pay for it. I pay for it because I use it every single day, multiple times a day. And I feel like I get so much value out of it that I'm happy to pay for it, because for me, this is something that I can't do without. So I've got it on my phone. I've got it on my computer. I use this to make all the images for my cards that I print as well. So if you're printing things for your business, you can use all the different sizes. You can also do that through Canva. So you might not need both, but if you really want to edit a photo and an image, you'll need something like a PicMonkey. There's lots of other options on the phones that are free, and PicMonkey, like I said, has a free version. I choose to pay for this because it's so valuable for me and my business. Okay. I want to mention, I'm just thinking about all the things that I pay for on a monthly basis. I want to mention Dropbox. So I've been using Dropbox for a long time. I pay for Dropbox, but I don't actually pay for the business version because I don't actually need that much room. But if you think about how many pictures I take, I've taken like 16,000 pictures in the past, not even a year, and not including videos. So I need a place where my photos can live, and Dropbox has been great for me. Also, when I need to share something with someone, Dropbox is a super easy way to do things. You can share large files. You can share them in a way that someone can just view it and not edit it. So this is also something that has been super important. And what I like about Dropbox is that, of course, if my computer crashes and I lose everything, everything is saved to Dropbox. I don't lose all my work. And let's say, so for example, I do all my podcast preparation on my computer. So I make the image through Canva, save it on my computer, and then I put it into Dropbox. And then I can access Dropbox from my phone, download the image to my phone, and then use that in social media. So because I do so much work on my phone, having that connection with Dropbox from the phone to the computer is really, really important. And like I said, you don't have to worry about losing everything. So again, a free version available, but I feel like we have to pay for, I feel like at this point in our lives, like we have to pay for some kind of cloud support, like space. So you're going to pay for your iCloud, or you're going to pay for your Google Drive, or you're going to pay for Dropbox. I found that Dropbox is the most value for dollar in terms of where I'm keeping all of my things. Okay, what's next? MailChimp. Okay, so I have been using MailChimp for a really long time. I'm trying to think of when I first started. It's been a really long time that I started a MailChimp letter, at least like 2010 probably. So why I love MailChimp, first of all, it is really simple to use. The templates are really good and really simple to use and easy and fairly intuitive. I've also used MailChimp to create automatic email sequences. So I have, for example, a 14-day practical gratitude experience. So that is where I have an automated email that goes out every day for 15 days, because there's like an extra day. And I was able to set that up through MailChimp. I have a 30 days of self-love experience, again, that goes out every day for 30 days that I was able to do through MailChimp. So I set it up once, basically copied an email, changed it every day, and then copied for the next one. The next one they send out every day. You can choose their frequency. So this has been really great for me. And then I use MailChimp for my weekly gratitude love letter. So there's never been a more important time to connect with your clients through email, not about COVID-19. So if you can start, go back to that old email list that you have. I will warn you, if you haven't sent out an email for a long time, whether you're using MailChimp or another service, you may get a lot of people unsubscribing if they haven't heard from you in a long time, and you may get flagged by the company. Like, so if you have too many unsubscribes, the company or service you work with will flag you and warn you. But that's likely to happen if you haven't used your email in a really long time. So I do encourage you to use, there is a free version of MailChimp as well. I used that for a little while, but then I started paying. I was sending out MailChimps every day for 2 years. I was sending a weekly or a daily, live daily gratitude message. That was for 2 years in 2 languages. So MailChimp has been there for me for so many years. I love this platform. There's so much more now on MailChimp that I'm not using. So I signed up for another product called Kartra, which I'll show you in a moment, which I think now, depending on what you're looking to do, you could get a lot of, like MailChimp will do landing pages and now as well. So they've got marketing options. There's just so much more available through MailChimp than ever. So worth looking into in more detail. So I mentioned Kartra. So if you're using like a My Kajabi or something like that, or I think even Salesforce has the same thing. I use this app called this online, sorry, I'm going to go back one step. MailChimp is also available to use as an app on your phone. However, it's definitely much easier to use on a desktop or a computer. But I have, in a pinch, put together my newsletter from my phone using MailChimp. So yes, you can do this from your phone, but I recommend it's a lot easier to do it from a computer. Kartra, which I was introduced to, I would say 3 years ago now by my friend Dieter. And when it first came out, it is very reasonably priced for this kind of software. I have membership sites. So I have membership sites through my 30-day whole body detox program that are being run through Kartra. You can do landing pages, sales pages, all that through Kartra. You can do online sales. Like there's just so much there. So this is a whole other category for people that are looking to really do a lot more online. I will say this, take a closer look at what something like a MailChimp is doing right now, because they're not offering a membership system, but maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you just need some landing pages and some squeeze pages. And then you can connect MailChimp and Shopify with a third-party app. That was kind of a thing before where there was an issue there, but you can connect your Shopify to your MailChimp. So I would start here. And then if you want to look more into Kartra because you really want to do membership sites and a lot more with your online business, then something like a Kartra would be a good next step. I just mentioned Shopify. So sorry, I'll grab that. Actually, I don't really want to go into my admin page, so I'll just go to Shopify. Okay, so Shopify, this you have to pay for. Shopify, you can create an online store and sell things online. You can do things like reselling, so you never actually physically touch products. That's a whole like bunch of things that I'm not going to get into now. I use Shopify to share my photo products that I do through Wake Up with Gratitude. So I have photo products, I do prints, I do cards, I have books. So all that I created through Shopify. And Shopify, you can actually print shipping labels through Shopify and directly and have those, maybe picked up from your home, depending on what you're doing right now for shipping. But because all the products that I ship as a letter mail through Canada Post to save money, I've had to shut down my store for now because I'm not going to be going into the post office all the time. That's not a wise idea right now. So I've, just shut down for now, but Shopify has been an amazing, amazing way to do an online store. So if you're doing though more like a course thing and selling that kind of things, you might want to look at a Kartra, or you might want to look at a MailChimp, because it's not going to be you're not going to need Shopify. This is the thing, is like most of these things have a free option. There isn't one with Shopify. You get a free trial, but I mean, if you just want to try it, but really, truly, you could just got to think about which online tools you're going to need and you're going to use, because I'm paying for most of these every single month. So it's like that cost of doing my business that doesn't go away when, the business isn't coming in. So Shopify. Next, I want to mention web hosting. So if you are going to host a website, there are so many options on how to do this. I've built most of my websites I have built through WordPress. However, and WordPress offers a free way to host your website, but I want my own personal site. I don't want the ads. So I host through HostGator.com, There's Bluehost, there's like all kinds of other hosting. I'm just telling you what I use. HostGator.com. So I pay a monthly fee. I have like a ridiculous number of sites that I could host. I host like 3 or 4 of them right now, and that's it. You can also register a domain name through HostGator, so you can have it all in one place. I find HostGator it's good. There's challenges for sure. I've had my share of challenges with HostGator over time, but you know what? I think I've only had like 1 outage, and I've only had 1 security breach, thank goodness, on my sites in many, many years, like since 2011, I want to say. So this has worked really well for me. This is where you get, so if you want to do your name, like I have julieboya.com, you buy your domain, right, through something like a HostGator, and then you can also host a website. So you can use WordPress, but if you're paying for hosting, then you actually get to create whatever you want through that website hosting. I will say that I built my entire wakeupwithgratitude.com with Shopify. So I built a new website. So I have julieboya.com. That website has existed since 2008. It's actually so humongous that it needs almost like a clear the slate and start over. So what I did is I built wakeupwithgratitude.com, started with the store first, then added more things, and I did it all through Shopify. So just to give you I don't want to go into my admin. I just want to go to wakeupwithgratitude.com. Okay. So I built this whole site through Shopify. So it's pretty awesome. I've got my shop, a nice intro page. My blog is here. So I've been able to blog using Shopify. So I'm sharing so many tools that I use right now. I'm hoping you'll send me your questions because there's a lot here, but Shopify has been great for me to build a brand new website. Okay, and then the last thing I want to mention is I want to mention Facebook as an online tool because I really use Facebook, not just for social media marketing, but I want to mention something about Facebook and videos. So I'm on my business page right now, my Wake Up with Gratitude. It's called Julie Boya Gratitude Guru. I can't change the name because I have more than 1,000 likes. I've tried. Once you hit over 1,000 likes, you can't change it. So people have said that they've been able to, but I've tried many, many times and it just won't change. So that's my name. And I've done a lot with videos. So there's a whole way to create a video now, which is really awesome. You can go into your video library, you can view all your videos, all your stats, and then you can upload a new video. Oh, I guess I can't really show you guys how to do this because I don't actually have a video to upload. Anyway, I should do a training on that. Sorry, my Facebook timeline there. Anyway, I want to recommend doing videos, posting them. You can post them as a premiere. You can do watch parties. It really helps to drive people to your Facebook page. So it's a great time to be creating videos. So this video, I'm actually going to, once I'm done, I'm going to download it, upload it through my Facebook page, and then I'm going to do a watch party so we can all watch together. Okay, so I think that is all the online tools that I use. That's a lot. I know I mentioned so many. I'll summarize them in the description of the video. And of course, please ask your questions. And I might have missed some stuff that I use. I did. I want to mention one more thing. Sorry, podcasting. I just want to mention the tools I use for podcasting. So as I mentioned, I use Zoom to record audio. So even if I'm doing a solo podcast, I'll record using Zoom. Why? Because if I'm talking at like nothing, I find it really hard. So what I do is I put Zoom on, I talk to myself, and then I save the audio and then use that. As I mentioned, I do all my interviews as well with Zoom, with the video and the audio, and I share the videos through my Facebook page. So I use a service called Libsyn. It is a paid service. I chose to do a paid service right from the beginning. You can use anchor.fm. It is free, and that's great. Like I said, you have to make decisions for your own business. I knew that I had a lot of content ready to go for my podcast because I recorded 25 interviews before I launched my podcast. So I knew I had content. So I knew I was going to really use this on a regular basis, and I'm posting 2 episodes a week. So I'm at 35 episodes since the beginning of December, and I'm recording this on Thursday, March 26, 2020. So that made sense for me to go right away with a paid service. There are different features and tracking that you don't get with a free service. And there's a bit better distribution when you're using a free service. I've noticed my distribution and my podcast downloads have definitely been increasing really quite well. And it might not be my service. It might just be that people want to, listen to things about gratitude. My podcast is called Wake Up with Gratitude. And then, so I've got Libsyn, which helps me to upload my podcast. I get my audio from Zoom, and then I use, this is free. It's called Audacity. And with Audacity, you need a little bit of technical ability to do this. So I'll just show you, for example, let me see one that I just did recently. Okay, so I just dropped this podcast episode, just dropped today. So Duet Anderson. So what I have here, you can see there's all these different tracks. So I found, this is the beginning. So I've got royalty-free music that I got through YouTube, and I cut it and looped it so it's not actually even the same as like what other people would get. So I've cut it and looped it. So again, you got to kind of know what you're doing here a little bit. I figured this out on my own, so you can figure it out too. So I've got the music, then I've got intro voice, so me doing the intro. Then I do a guest intro. So if I have a guest on my podcast, I do a guest intro. Then I've got the audio from the interview that I did that came from Zoom. And then at the end, I've got an outro music and outro words. So I know I just told you, and that seems really simple, and I'm just saying it, but some of you will get that and know exactly what I'm talking about, and other people will be like, that is way too advanced for me. I'm going to use Anchor FM because it's a lot easier, and that is a great option for so many people. So, but if you're like me and you want to kind of, you like playing with this kind of stuff and you want to figure it out and used GarageBand before, if you've used GarageBand, you can figure this out. So yeah, okay, so those are I think that's almost all the online tools that I use in my business and in my personal life. I'm here for your questions. I know that this is a recording, but please post your questions in the comments and I will answer for you. Hopefully this will help you. We don't know how long we're going to be working from home or at home and trying to redesign our lives and start something online maybe, or even just communicate in different ways through using online tools. So I hope that this helps you. And like I said, I'm happy to just maybe walk you through something if you're having some challenges or if you have more questions. Love to be of service. Thanks everyone. Hope you're staying home and staying safe. Know that I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I really appreciate that you listened in.